Welcome to the future of luxury travel, where cryptocurrency meets paradise. Introducing Bitcoin, then all-inclusive beach resort, nestled on the pristine shores of El Salvador. Every room is a gateway to adventure, complete with your personal 4x4 vehicle, scooter, and jet ski. Picture yourself cruising along scenic coastal roads, feeling the thrill of freedom. Glide across crystal-clear waters on your private jet ski, embracing the rush of adrenaline. Return to your luxurious suite where comfort meets cutting-edge technology. Indulge in world-class amenities from gourmet dining to rejuvenating spa treatments. Experience the vibrant nightlife with entertainment options that cater to the most discerning tastes. Invest in a resort that's not just keeping up with the times, but defining the future of travel. Join us in creating the ultimate paradise. Contact us at 562-526-0813 and become part of the future of luxury travel.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. And the most censored man in cryptos. I don't know if I'm censored or shadow banned. I never figured it out. Oh, well, after 8 years, you just tend to roll with the flow. Welcome to the show, everyone. Now, my good friend, Mr. Dennis Porter, will be joining us shortly. He's suspecting he's recovering from the Michael Saylor event that he attended. And he was very popular amongst everyone there. My friends, like the headline says, welcome to day 2 of year 1. Now, that has the best looking and man of the hour is in. Hang on 1 second. Dennis, what do you say, brother?
How's it going, man? Great to see you. Glad to be here. And thank you so much for bringing me on the show.
Oh, brother, you are always welcome here. You know that.
Well, I'm just getting freshly back from the New Year's party in Miami, so I'm a little jet lagged, but we should have a great show.
Brother, from what I heard, you basically got mugged.
It was a great experience.
And over and over again. I had friends who had seen you on the show when you were here like a few weeks ago or something. And they're like, dude, why didn't you tell us about Dennis? And I'm like, dude, if you don't know Dennis, are you really paying attention to cryptos?
We do. We have a lot of fun with it. We're having a great time in this space. I'm honored to be back on the show. You know, I'm a big fan.
Oh, and I have been a big fan of yours for many years, my friend. And in fact, this is you.
Oh yeah, is that my character? Is that me? My graphic?
Yes, and you can't really tell, but you're dressed up like Superman.
I have a Superman tank top. I'll have to wear it next time.
Hey, I'm game. It's the reason I dressed you up like Superman is you're always flying.
Yeah, that is true. I have one of the highest like status levels on my airline. That's how much I fly. So I'm certainly on a plane quite a bit.
Absolutely. Hey, I know you are a very busy man. Give us a lowdown of the vibe, the feeling of the $100,000
Sailor party.
yeah, sailor party. Yeah, I'm sorry. I sometimes I forget his name, and it's
It's a name to forget. It's a name to forget.
Oh yeah, he's a nobody. You know, I mean,
That's right. Well, listen,
what you got for it?
I had a great time. I thought it was really well put together, and there was a lot of incredible people there who are just such big people in the space and have spent so much time and energy trying to drive Bitcoin forward. And that's the greatest thing about this space. And sorry if my voice gives out a little bit. The music was loud, so they make you yell at each other. But there's a lot of people there.
You think I'm gonna bitch about your voice?
That's right. Yeah. You have the best voice. What are you talking about? You have the perfect voice. Everybody knows. That's what all my friends say. Once you hear it, you'll never forget it. So, what at the party though was just like a lot of these people that were invited. I felt like it was a lot of people who just put a lot of time into Bitcoin, and it really made me realize just like how far we've come as an industry. Of course, we had guys like VJ Boyapati there, and some other OGs as well who have done a lot of work on the educational side. So it's great to see them, and they've done such good things for the space. But there are so many new voices that are championing Bitcoin, and they're doing it in their own way, but they're doing it effectively for their community. And the number of people there that are supporting Bitcoin and with like their life, like they're putting their life into this technology was just amazing to see. And it's just so different from any other community, any other industry. You just don't see that deep level of care and concern for Bitcoin and the willingness to put your life into something the way Bitcoiners do. But these people were there, and they were serious people who really do want to spend a lot of their time trying to advance the technology. So it was just great to be there. It was great to be there with engaging with so many people that I spend so much time with. In the space, and it wasn't like a mob or a sea of people that I didn't recognize. Like I almost recognized like probably every other person there, right? I mean, so that was really a great experience. Had a great time on the live show there as well, and then I also got to do the crypto guy. I've seen him since 2017. It was funny because then he brought me on. I was like, this is just like. I know he's like the ultimate engagement guy, but at the same time, he's the one who like perfected it. He was the best at it first. So it was fun to do a little clip with him as well.
I've actually known him since he launched his show. I had him on years ago. And he's extremely entertaining.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's fun. Yeah, it was a good time. I love his accent. He's got this really thick German accent, but it sounds great. I said,
it's
man,
frightening. Like we are the best of the best. Bitcoin is the best of the best.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I told him, I said, everybody loves a good European accent. So you're lucky. Americans love a good European accent. So yeah, we had a good time. I mean, everybody was there, like everyone that you could think of was there. I know there were some people probably missing too. And, you'd love to see even more people get invited, because I think that there's a lot of people that do put a lot of time and energy into Bitcoin that weren't able to make it. But certainly it was a very exciting time.
Yeah. My wife and I have a yearly thing that we do on, New Year's Eve. And so that's where I was. And
yep.
Like I told you last night, I bet I had more fun than you did.
It's possible, but I don't know. It was a pretty fun party. We had a great time.
Oh, it got that fun?
Maybe not. Maybe not then, Ben. Maybe not. Now I'm questioning it. Maybe not as fun as you then.
That's all right. I videotaped it. I'll send you an MP4.
Is it something I want to be able to watch? Am I going to be okay to be in politics after I'm done watching it?
Oh, you won't want to watch it. You'll want it for blackmail material.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
You're in Washington now. Get with the
Uh,
groove.
I got to get blackmail on people now. That's what I need to start doing. That's right.
That's what Washington does.
That's how you got to win. It's the only way to get ahead.
Apparently so. So speaking of what, Washington, D.C., from what I've heard, brother, you are making waves everywhere.
Yeah, we're really well positioned to be able to be very effective. You know, we've done quite a number of educational efforts in Washington, D.C., including having put together a group of volunteers to hand out Bitcoin books to every single member of Congress. So every single member of Congress, every senator, every representative has gotten a Bitcoin book from one of our volunteers. We hand delivered them. Some of them got multiple copies, you know, things like the Bitcoin Standard, Layered Money. We also had a progressives case for Bitcoin, and then we had the two authors there as well. So, but we're going to plan to do that again. You know, that'll be a fun time. But we're also, you know, in talks with a lot of different U.S. Senate offices and members of Congress, House representatives, talking about the importance of Bitcoin, but also talking about the need for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. You know, we really want to see this legislation get across the finish line at the federal level. It's going to take some time. I think, you know, of course, there's obviously this opportunity for Trump to sign an executive order to be able to establish the reserve and to be able to make sure we hold on to the Bitcoin that is currently at the U.S. Marshal's office. That to me is the most important component of what he could accomplish with an executive order. And we drafted a model order for him to put forward in front of the people there. And we're certainly pushing hard. I can't share a whole lot of details about exactly how we're approaching this strategic Bitcoin reserve executive order. But we do have a model that we put out. We've actually made some pretty significant changes to that model since we put it out. But because of the feedback we got, you know, that's the great thing about this community. It's a great thing about the Bitcoin space is you put something out there, and you know, even if it's good as is, like people will give you little bits of information that make a huge difference. So we've made some pretty subtle but important changes to the executive order draft that we've made. And we're getting ready to get in front of the most important people, the most important names in the in the administration, and that's really going to be important if we expect to get it across the finish line. You know, a lot of people think it's going to happen on day one. It's possible, but you also have to be prepared to continue to educate and drive forward, and that's why we're so well positioned as Satoshi Action, because we are a C4, and one of the great things about a C4 is that we can do unlimited lobbying. You know, there's a lot of other groups out there that are not C4s. They're C3s or they're C6s. So a C3, you know, they only can do like 10% of their time can be spent lobbying. If they do more than that, they can get in big trouble. So most C3s won't lobby at all. In fact, they probably shouldn't, because it can be pretty dangerous to lobby as a C3. And like if you get caught going over your 10%, you get in pretty big trouble. A C6, which is essentially a trade association, it's a member-based association. They can do unlimited lobbying too, but their members have to vote and agree that it's okay to do that type of lobbying. And so there's a lot of consternation amongst these trade associations about whether or not they should support a strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation or whether or not it's a priority. But it's a priority for us. You know, getting Bitcoin to be a strategic reserve within the United States is critical. And I think that we need to be spending as much of our time as possible to get it across the finish line, because this is Bitcoin's destiny. This is what Bitcoin was made for. And we need to be making sure that the United States continues to be a leader. And we have this really big opportunity because you have 200,000 Bitcoin sitting there. And we are currently, according to public reporting, if we keep that 200,000 Bitcoin, we'll be the largest holder of Bitcoin among nation states in the world. Now, some people are speculating, and there's rumors out there and that, you know, other countries have bought Bitcoin. They have more than that, but there's no real public reporting on that. But we do know for a fact that the United States currently holds approximately 200,000 Bitcoin. And among other countries where there are holders of Bitcoin that are public, we are currently the largest. And I think we would want to make sure we maintain that leadership.
Yeah, I have another friend in Washington, D.C. We remember a few weeks ago when they moved, I think, like 10,000 over, and everyone kind of freaked out.
To Coinbase, yeah.
Yeah, and that's around the time that Trump hooked up with Brian Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brian Armstrong would not sell them.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the U.S. Marshals like basically they contracted with Coinbase to hold their Bitcoin. So just because they moved from the U.S. Marshals current wallet address to the Coinbase address doesn't mean that they were sold. It just means that Coinbase is taking over the custodialship of those Bitcoins. But maybe they held them, maybe they sold them. I think there needs to be, at the end of the day, I think there needs to be a lot more transparency around exactly what is happening with the Bitcoin.
Well, they sent it over there to sell it, but that was squashed.
Well, if that's true, that's great to hear.
Oh yeah, there are good. You know me, good guys, bad guys. There are good guys in Coinbase, and they needed to hear it from Trump. Trump was yay or nay. And
yeah.
Trump said nay.
Don't sell.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. So, well, if you have your friend, you tell your friend to reach out to us. We'd love to chat with them. But ultimately, at the end of the day,
you already know him.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But you have to tell me after the show.
I'm not allowed to tell people who I talk to.
Well, I'm right there with you. I have a lot of those problems.
You know what I'm talking about. Just like how you just said that we get a lot of hints or, hey, FYIs.
Yeah.
That's basically what my show lives on is, hey, FYI. Because I know everybody, but I've actually been around so long that they'll send me little messages and go, hey, this is what happened with that. Okay, all right, thanks. And I don't, a lot of the times, I don't get specific names. And I just, they know I'll just say it on the show,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I do too. I tweet it out and the people are like, who said that? And I'm like, well, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Which state is it going to be? Well, I can't tell you which state it's going to be. I know which state it's going to be, but I can't tell you. I mean, well, they're like upset. They're like, no, you can't, you got to tell us. And I'm like, well, I told you as much as I can. That's the point. That's what I was telling you. That's why I said it.
If I tell you, no one will ever tell me anything again.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, this is the point, right? We talk to lawmakers and the lawmakers tell us things. And, I had some guy in my threads the other day or my mentions the other day. He's like, provide evidence of this and this and this and this. And I'm like, dude, those are all private conversations with lawmakers. Like, I'm not going to put my lawmakers on blast so that you can feel good about like the evidence that I'm providing. Like, don't worry. The evidence will come in a month when we pass this stuff into law.
It's literally, they see you with like pictures of congressmen and senators and be like, yeah, this guy's full of crap. Really? You think I'm here like friggin' twiddling my thumbs?
Yeah.
Why? I've always said, why would people like Dennis? What does he get out of like just like making stuff up? And can't you look at his past and go,
yeah,
so
I mean, it's not hard to look back and see.
on.
I had some other guy today recently too. This lunatic guy was like, we knew who you were back in the clubhouse days and we should have stopped you back then. And I'm like, bro, you could stop. He's like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, the reason that we're so successful, the reason that I am in the position that I'm in today is because of the proof of work. You know, when you put in the time and you put in the energy and you produce results that are verifiably real and that you verifiably had an impact on, that's why you get to the position that you're in. You know, that's true through anything in life. If you put the time and the energy in and you produce a result, you know, it's like the Elon Musk thing. Some people hate Elon Musk, but even the people that hate Elon Musk can't deny the fact that he's doing incredible stuff to advance various verticals. Like he's catching rockets out of the sky. The guy's catching rockets out of the freaking sky. You can, like you said, love him or hate him, but you cannot deny the results. And that's why he is where he's at. You know, people come up with these stories. Well, he got daddy money and all these other. Okay, everybody has a different start. Everybody has a different path. But at the end of the day, no one's catching rockets out of the sky.
Right. And there are some people who hate him so much they're blowing up trucks and
terrorist attacks on. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. I mean, it's like, for me, who has passed 4 pro Bitcoin bills to protect Bitcoin rights in 4 different states? Nobody has done that. Only me and my team has done that. And it's not even the only thing we've done. That's just like one thing. That's in my thing. That's the biggest one. That's like that's the crown jewel of Satoshi Action, our nonprofit. But, you know, we've also done.
And those are the things that you can talk about. That I know for a fact there's things you can't say.
Yes, that's right.
If other people knew, they'd be like,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now. I mean, we've been trying to share as much as we can. So the interesting part is we have so many incredible movements taking place, so much progress happening right now. You know, in one of these states that we're doing strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation, there are 4 lawmakers that should work together, but they're all kind of competing now because it's the hot ticket item to be the guy that passed strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation. So instead of these 4 lawmakers working together, they're all going to introduce their own bill and like compete with each other to see who can pass it first. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. I explained to a friend of mine last night, after you and I talked, I said, look, what Dennis hasn't really realized yet is he's actually setting the crypto constitution in place.
It's crypto bill of rights, maybe Bitcoin bill of rights too. I like that, but yeah.
No, constitution, because of how these things are going to be framed. Because Bitcoin is not just going to actually be in the reserve. Right? What is being developed is that the whole federal government system is being recapitalized in a 3-month period where Social Security, they're putting Bitcoin in Social Security. That lock box is about to have a green candle like it's never seen before. All of the underfunded programs will have more funding than they'll ever use. We're going to go from a negative to a never-ending positive in the social programs of America. It will be a perpetual funding of America.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I mean that's what I said too. I'm very supportive of funding Social Security with Bitcoin and then having it, you essentially permanently use it to fund the Social Security payments.
It goes up. Let's just say the federal government is about to Michael Saylor the shit out of this thing.
We'll see. It's coming.
I love you, Dennis. I love you.
Love you too, Ben.
And you, brother, if I could put you in a timeline with the founding fathers, I'd put you at Hamilton.
Oh yeah, what's the Hamilton comparison for?
He basically wrote most of the legislation for the original weights and measurements of the American government at the founding of America. He's who chose silver over gold, because at the time, gold was it really still is. Gold is the elite money. Silver was the people's money. So whenever I hear people say, oh, Bitcoin is the gold, the gold standard, I laugh and go, actually, it's the silver. If you look historically, because the last revolution, they used silver. This revolution, they're using Bitcoin. And if you look back in history, if you look at from 1779 until about 1801, that's what the next few years are going to look like. It's going to be such a revolutionary shift in the whole world. See, that's why England had to create they couldn't get back in because we switched from gold to silver. So, and we changed our weights and measurements where we had inches, we had feet, we had everything completely measured so different that they couldn't overlay their globalist weights and measurements systems on top of America, so they couldn't infiltrate it. So they had, the Bank of London had to sneak some Illuminatis, and yes, they were called Illuminatis. George Washington wrote letters talking about the Illuminati. And that's why they had to create the first Federal Reserve of America. And because they couldn't infiltrate us through our weights and measurements. It's 99.9% of educated people in America have been educated wrong. And they were never taught the real history of America. Because if you know the real history of America, all I'm doing is watching 1779 play out all over again. 1779 and 1917 all over again.
What happened in 1779?
That's when we first established the structure of the weights and measurements. That's when the first ideas were put on paper by Hamilton.
Well, he was the first Secretary of the Treasury too, so.
Was he?
I believe so. I think so. I think he was.
Yes, he was. Brother, if it was up to me, you would be the next in Treasury.
That's very kind of you. I'm a little ways off from being Secretary of the Treasury, but certainly, if called upon, would love to be able to participate in serving the country. I've mentioned that before. I would be more than happy to serve the country, serve my community, serve my people by running for office or being in office. But right now, I'm best positioned to be able to help by being at Satoshi Action to support Bitcoin, to push Bitcoin forward, and to make sure that the United States is the best place in the world for Bitcoin and for Bitcoin mining too. Of course, as you know, it's such an important area where we have so much opportunity to be able to balance the grid, to advance energy, to build out energy, to monetize wasted energy, to clean up methane, to be able to create rural jobs. No technology like it. I mean, the grid balancing components of Bitcoin mining are just far, far, far beyond what any other technology can accomplish. And we're very excited to be able to be pushing the ability for mining to participate in the grid here in the US because, we just need it desperately. The grids are becoming more and more fragile, and we need to find ways to improve it. And in Texas, they've done such a great job. One time there was a big winter storm that came down, and it really, 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 really.
Oh, I was in Texas then.
Yeah, I mean, it hurt. It was bad. I mean, it was. There was a couple of them, but yeah, there's a couple of them. There was the Uri one, which killed people. There's 700 people that died. And the next one was Elliott, but the miners were there, and miners wound down and delivered their energy back to the grid, and they made roughly 1,700 megawatts of power available to the grid at the time, which is enough power to heat 1.7 million small homes or energize 320 large hospitals. So it's a lot of power, and we could be doing that all over the world and all over the United States, where we have Bitcoin miners ready to be the first line of defense against these types of natural disasters or any other type of natural disaster or cybercrime, where we can have the miners be able to deliver the energy back to the grid in moments in desperate need. And that's just not something anything else. There's no other technology that can do it the way Bitcoin mining can.
There's only one person that I can actually talk about openly, because I can actually. He's such a public figure that it doesn't matter. Trump is going to change every oil company into the largest Bitcoin mining operations in the world.
There's a lot of people that certainly think that's going to go that direction. Definitely.
Oh yeah. And it's that's what I keep on trying to tell the viewers of the show is if you understand how Trump is doing this, it's why he said, I want every single Bitcoin produced made in America. And people heard him say that, but they don't speak Trump. Trump tells you something in a joke or a hyperbole. While you think you're listening to a hyperbole, you're actually listening to Trump tell you what he's going to do. It's why Trump calls Bitcoin the new oil. That has several facets to it. Number one, in 1973, well, actually 1977, we transitioned onto the petrodollar. Well, we're transitioning onto the Bitcoin dollar.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at right now. It's just Trump's going to put this thing in fast forward because it's all digital. He literally can make things happen in hours.
Yeah.
Where I suspect that people in the future are gonna say Trump was the first viral president,
Mm-hmm.
where his presidency could go viral throughout Washington, D.C.
Well, and the world, really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm actually being very U.S. centric right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, you, my good friend Dennis, you are, let's just say you're the Elon Musk of Treasury. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, well, listen, Elon is one of those guys that, like you said, he keeps pushing forward and keeps trying to secure wins, no matter what people say about him.
How he was placed, you will be outside, but you will be inside. It's how you get around Senate approval on,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of already doing that right now to an extent with Satoshi Action. I don't have to get approval to do anything I'm doing.
Bingo. Neither does Elon. All you have to do is put some yes men in there. And what's important is whose yes they listen to.
Well, that's right. I mean, Elon's in a great place. As far as influencing the political process, he has more influence than probably anybody in the U.S. system today. So, and some people certainly don't like that. That's for sure.
Yep. Let's say you were President Trump and you knew you were going to have people not wanting to approve your choices for positions. What if you just put up what were normally just the swamp's yes man? Oh, yeah, we know this guy. Yeah, we'll nominate him. We can control him. Well, what if he's a double agent where you think he's working for you when really he's working for Trump? And Trump has instructed him, whatever Dennis Porter tells you, you do, or your secret comes out.
I mean, I think that's what's happening in a way too, is that Elon kind of can act as cover as well, because he can say whatever he wants to say, and then Trump's able to make decisions based off of how people interact with Elon. But Elon isn't elected; he doesn't get in trouble for the things that he says. He can't get backlash for it. And so, in a way, Elon is like a shock trooper for the ideas that Trump may want to or may not want to pursue.
Yep, and that's going to be you at Treasury. Just a heads up, I may have heard from a guy.
Oh yeah, someone's gonna give me the phone call. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, they got your number, and for that, what do you think about the Treasury all of a sudden getting hacked?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I was on the road when it happened, so I haven't had a lot of time to dive into it. But I'm very curious to see what the implications of that will be for Treasury.
Well, all you have to do is look at Hillary. I mean, she just that server was just sitting there, and so suddenly it got hacked, and all that information went away. She'd have it if it wasn't for China.
Yeah, there was some pretty interesting things around that time. That's for sure. Especially when she was running for office.
Yes, if you had a bunch of information and emails that you needed to disappear, how would you phrase it? We got hacked by China. We lost a lot of data. Oh, really? You mean like 20 days before Trump comes into office and maybe 3 days before the House of Representatives show up. Boy, that's almost perfect timing.
Yeah, there's certainly some strange things happening right now.
Yeah, and it's there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And you were at the place last night with Michael Saylor, or yeah, like New Year's night, whatever. Uh, uh, you, I don't know what you can say. There are foreign governments reaching out to you right now. Or maybe it's in the process of actually being reached out and haven't reached out today yet. You're about to get some news, or if you haven't already gotten the news, that there's other countries that are going to need your assistance. I hope you're bilingual.
Yo hablo poquito español, pero muy poquito, porque yo fui a Juárez, México, por 3 años con mi familia. Entonces yo hablo español, pero es muy, no hay muchas palabras que yo puedo hablar.
So you're a little fluent.
I wouldn't say fluent. But certainly I lived in Mexico for 3 years, so I've got a little bit of a tie into Latin America. My parents have lived in El Salvador for 15 years, so there's a little bit of a tie in there. Yeah, totally random fact, but yeah, certainly something that was shocking to me when they started to adopt Bitcoin. But I am helping some international groups. I've helped some groups in Europe and some groups in Latin America. And yeah, excuse me. There's going to be many more though as well. We're going to be turning internally because there's a lot of policy processes that are going to start kicking off here in the United States. So I have to be a part of those. But absolutely, I'm ready to move when the time is ready. The time is right for the international work, and we do see some groups already making great progress. In fact, we should have some pretty good information to share tomorrow about some progress we've made in a country in Latin America. So I'm excited about that.
Do not respond. Is it Brazil?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to take you to El Salvador because I have my resorts opening there in March.
Great.
If you want to come down for a week or so and just hang out at the resorts. And I'd like to introduce you to some government officials. One of them has great coffee.
Okay, great. I've heard that. Now they do have very good coffee down there.
Oh,
I come from a family of coffee lovers, so works out great for us.
I live on coffee.
I was about to get my coffee, but I didn't get up in time to get my coffee, so I'll be getting it right after we're done with this call.
All right, well, you should get it in about 3 hours. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to keep you on here for 3 hours. You're like, yeah, I ain't got time for all that. But, I've actually kept you long enough, brother. What's the most important thing that my viewers should hear from you?
Well, for us, it's so important that we continue to make progress for Bitcoin here in the United States. And if you're international, the best part is that when the US moves strongly a certain direction, the world tends to follow. And so we'll be fighting hard to continue to educate lawmakers and regulators and the general public on the benefits of Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. We really got to have these people understand this technology. And then we're always going to be pushing for policy changes because we're not just educating. A lot of people, they do education. Education is great, but very few people are actually crafting the legislation that these lawmakers are passing into law. And we've done that in 4 states, and we're going to do it in more. We've got 12 states, at least maybe 13 states that'll introduce strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation, which means they're going to start buying Bitcoin. They're going to start holding Bitcoin. And that's going to make a huge difference for our efforts to also get things done at the federal level as well, where they start to watch the other states. So we got to get these things across the finish line. And we need folks to be able to get this stuff done. We got to have people supporting us. A lot of people, they don't know this, but we're a nonprofit. We are supported by our donors. We don't have corporate interests. We're not making money any other way other than that. When we go on shows like yours, Ben, and then we say, hey, support us if you want to help us, that makes a big difference. We're currently raising $500,000 towards our 2025 goals to be able to fund all the work that we're doing. And we've been able to raise $250,000 in the first 19 days of that fundraising. Now, we had to cut it off going into Christmas and the New Year's, so we're getting right back to it. You're the first one, right? But back in the New Year's, you're the first show I've been on, other than the stuff at the Sailor Party, of course, that's different. But we need people that are listeners of your show who care about Bitcoin and want to see Bitcoin adoption take place to financially support groups like Satoshi Action, because we're the ones that are going to actually deliver the results that will help them see that bright orange future that we all know is possible. And also, even if they're just greedy, it'll help the price of Bitcoin go up. But, I know a lot of Bitcoiners that care a lot about the world. And so we're doing a lot of things to help unlock the potential of Bitcoin, not just pump up the price of Bitcoin. That means like helping the states in the US be able to balance their grid with Bitcoin. That means helping communities be able to understand how to unlock the financial inclusive nature of Bitcoin. We're working all across the board to truly help make sure that Bitcoin achieves its full potential as soon as humanly possible.
Yep. And I am a proud supporter of his work. So I personally contributed to them. So it's important that we all do that.
Thank you, Ben. And if people do want to donate, they can go to satoshiaction.io. They can donate Bitcoin, they can donate dollars, and we have our own little Bitcoin strategic reserve as well. So we spend the dollars and we keep the Bitcoin. So if people are wanting to support us, they can go to satoshiaction.io and either become a dollar donor, Bitcoin donor. If you're a dollar donor, you can sign up to be a monthly donor too, which is always very helpful for us. Helps us plan a lot better for the future.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent you Bitcoin, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Of course. What else are you going to send?
And you're going to be way up soon.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody's going to be way up.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Once again, my good friends, thank you so much for all of your hard work. And if you ever need me,
I will do, Ben. Thank you so much for inviting me back on. Looking forward to coming back in the future. And I will eventually see you in El Salvador. That's for sure.
Oh, I'll see you in Washington, D.C. soon.
You going to be there for the inauguration?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Well, I'll be giving you a text.
Love you, brother.
Talk soon, Ben.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys and gals, that guy is a wealth of information. If he could tell you everything else that he knows, it'd be a long ass show and your mind would pop. I don't think people appreciate how much he does for our community. He absolutely is. If I could say, passion-wise, I would honestly say he's probably one of the most passionate people about Bitcoin. And it shows in his work. It's all he does. And it isn't a job for him. Like, he doesn't clock in. He just never clocks out. He's always there. And that's why I called him Hamilton, right? Because Hamilton, if you know the true history of America, Hamilton worked himself to almost where he died of exhaustion that led to an illness that almost killed the guy because he was so focused on getting America free of the old system. He'd work 22 hours a day and just accidentally pass out for 2 of them. That's him. That's Mr. Porter, right? He's a workaholic, but he's not working. It literally is. It's him being led by God. And when he needs a shot, God sends him a little lightning bolt right to his ass, and he's right back at it. This is, have no fear, guys. Have no fear. This was set in place a long time ago. And that's why I wrote popcorn in anyone. Watch the show. Because the show, the revitalization of America will be televised, not the revolution. This is bigger than a revolution. This is the knowing of the result of the revolution. We're on the other side, folks. That's why the headline says, "Welcome to day 2 of year 1." America's back. It's just not everyone knows it yet. They will. Give them about 18 days. And then the whole world's gonna know everything. Have a great day, guys. I love each and every one of you guys. I want you to be happy. It's a good day. Okay. All right. Enough of my usual, slobbering all over my laptop. This thing, by the way, shout out to Predator. You make one hell of a waterproof laptop. Okay. Love you guys. I am not shooting a show tomorrow. I'm probably just going to replay this one because a lot of people need to see this one. And I'll see you Monday. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the future of luxury travel, where cryptocurrency meets paradise. Introducing Bitcoin, Ben all-inclusive beach resort nestled on the pristine shores of El Salvador. Every room is a gateway to adventure, complete with your personal 4x4 vehicle, scooter, and jet ski. Picture yourself cruising along scenic coastal roads, feeling the thrill of freedom. Glide across crystal clear waters on your private jet ski, embracing the rush of adrenaline. Return to your luxurious suite where comfort meets cutting-edge technology. Indulge in world-class amenities from gourmet dining to rejuvenating spa treatments. Experience the vibrant nightlife with entertainment options that cater to the most discerning tastes. Invest in a resort that's not just keeping up with the times, but defining the future of travel. Join us in creating the ultimate paradise. Contact us at 562-526-0813 and become part of the future of luxury travel.